Hello everyone, and welcome back to World of Warships Blitz with Terry. Today, we'll be burning down some more backlog. And one of the questions that was asked not too long ago was destroyer lines. Specifically, the American, the German, and the Soviet line. What are the differences? How do you play these ships? Which line should I grind up? What kind of ship matches my playstyle? So, let's do this. Let's have a quick look. Now, let's start with the Farragut. We've got her here, the American Tier 6 destroyer. She is relatively sturdy for a destroyer. She's got 527mm guns, and these are very good guns. You have enough penetration to hurt other destroyers with armor piercing and even more heavily armored targets quite reliably. She has, as an American destroyer, she has 500mm torpedoes with 6km range, which isn't great. So it's just a little bit more than the standard German torpedo range on cruisers at this tier. But in return, she gets an engine accelerator and a smoke screen. So in summary, you have a reasonably fast, reasonably maneuverable, reasonably well-armed destroyer with not super long-range torpedoes and a smoke screen. And if we have a quick look at the tech tree, that's kind of this the theme that's going on through all the destroyers going further up. So if we look, for example, at the Tier 9, she gets engine accelerators, she gets smoke screens, and she gets an AA defense for what it's worth, really. But the torpedoes actually gain a little bit of range. So, for example, the Fletcher has a torpedo range of 7.8 kilometers with 2 quintuple launchers. But these are in the middle, right? They're not extreme destroyers. They're traditional, conservative, in the middle destroyers with smokes and everything else being really, really reasonable. The German destroyers, on the other hand, are very different. So if we look at, for example, the Ernst Gaede here, she has a decent speed. She's got 150mm guns. These are actually cruiser guns. So while she does get torpedoes with a decent range, a better range than the Farragut, for example, this is very much a gunboat in a sense that she can do massive amounts of damage with her guns. And her concealment isn't that great. With 6.05 kilometers, she is really not one of the sneakiest destroyer. This is more like almost a light cruiser. Also very sturdy, and the German destroyers get sonars. So you can actually spot other destroyers in their smokes, or you can spot torpedoes with this. Plus they also get the engine boost, but they don't get any smokes. So what do we have on the German line? Good guns, great guns. German armor piercing, again, really, really dangerous to other destroyers. We've got a sonar in this line, which makes them very good at hunting destroyers because other destroyers that have smoke cannot hide in the smoke. And it makes them good at destroyer dogfighting because you will see the torpedoes coming a mile away if you have the sonar running. So these things are kind of hunter-killer things for destroyers. They are not the stealthiest, so you will not outspot anybody. You can't go easily stealth torp anything because while you do have a bit of a range in stealth, your overall detection really isn't that great. So these are more brawly ships. They are very aggressive and very good at hunting other destroyers. And if we look down the line, again, let's have a quick look at the Tier 9s. We actually do get a smoke here. So further down the line it does become, but you only get one charge, not multiple charges. And again, we get the sonar, and she actually gets 128mm guns, but still they are excellent German guns. And they do get torpedoes with a 7.9 kilometer range, which is very comparable to what the Americans get. They get a bit fewer, but these are very versatile multi-role ships and more geared towards the destroyer hunting sort of role. Lastly, the Soviet destroyers. The Soviet destroyers are very different. So if we look at, I don't have the Gnevny laying around right now, let's look at the Tier 7 at the Minsk. The Soviet destroyers are on the extreme gunboat side. So on the extreme stealth torpedo boat side, you'd find the Japanese their traditional destroyers with the extreme long-range torpedoes and the excellent concealment. On the other extreme gunboat range, you kind of find the Germans and then the Soviets being kind of really out there. And for a reason, because these ships, while also being relatively sturdy, are fast. So Soviet destroyers are super quick. They have absolutely excellent guns. So these 130mm guns are very, very dangerous towards anything that they get to shoot at. And their torpedoes are garbage. I mean, not completely, right? You can still torpedo things, but you've got a 4.5 kilometer range, which means you have to get really, really close. And while she does get the engine boost, she doesn't get a smoke. You have the rapid reload, though, to increase your fire rate. And again, if we're looking up the tech tree, let's look at the Kiev at tier 9. We still get the rapid reload, the engine boost, and we still have we got 4.8 kilometer torpedoes. They're still shorter range than what, for example, a Königsberg at tier 5 is firing. So the Soviet destroyers, if you put this on a line, again, from stealth torpedo boat to extremely aggressive gun. So from sneaky to aggressive, right? This is how we could order them. From sneaky to aggressive, you'd have the Japanese classic destroyers all the way on the sneaky side. You'd have the Japanese gunboats after that. Then you kind of have the American destroyers in the middle, because while they are sneaky, they also can be played a lot more aggressively because they do have smokes, because they do have good guns, and they're just really kind of in the middle. Then you've got the German destroyers, which are more on the aggressive side and have really excellent guns. And you've got the Soviet destroyers all the way out, which also have very, very good guns, comparable, and their torpedoes are really not great. And if we look at the base detection range of something like the Kiev, that's 6.6 kilometers. I'm pretty sure I have cruisers that have less detection range than this thing. So you're not going to do anything stealthy in a Soviet destroyer. So this is kind of the difference in play styles and categories. So if you want to go up, not something sneaky, you go with Japanese or maybe with the Americans a bit more, but you're going to have to get higher tiers to actually get the torpedo ranges. If you want to have much more brawly, aggressive ships, the Germans and the Soviets are kind of your pick of choice. So let's have a look at some battles to demonstrate that a little bit more. And I'm going to make 3 battles because it's 3 destroyers. I'll leave the timestamps in the description if there's one particular destroyer that you don't really care about and you just want to skip ahead to the other one. And we'll start out in the Farragut. So we're top tier. There's a carrier in the enemy team, Kongo, König, New York, Furutaka, a Gnevny, and a Fubuki. So the Gnevny is a very dangerous ship. And the Fubuki is more on the stealthy side. And the Fubuki player is a League 9 player, so we're going to watch out for them. Now we're playing Scorching Islands. So my go-to positioning here is that little island there in the middle. Especially that I am in a reasonably fast destroyer. So I probably cannot outrun the Gnevny there, but I can probably outrun the Japanese destroyer there. So I'm switching on the engine boost, 41.6 knots, and switching the guns over to armor piercing because, well, I'm expecting to have to deal with destroyers here. But this island is a good hiding spot. It's a good ambush spot, given that I don't have the torpedo range to do anything sneaky and long range. I have barely more torpedo range than I have concealment. So I'm keeping an eye on the planes. There's a battleship spotted, but I'm pretty sure there's other stuff here. There's a cruiser, there's the Kongo, there's the Gnevny. Okay, I actually outspotted the Gnevny because, again, Soviet destroyers. So, I got spotted. And there's the Fubuki over there as well. Okay, so I'm spotted, so the Gnevny knows that I'm coming, so there's probably no way that he's going to run into this.
Defend our base.
Let's just keep... I'm just keeping him tracked with the torpedo guidance to see if he decides to come around the corner. I'm trying to lock onto the Kongo and actually drop torpedoes on him. And it's going to drop them a little bit ahead, just in case he's still accelerating. And I am within torpedo range of the Gnevny, so I'm putting my smoke in. And I'm slowing down. And I could have actually torpedoed the Gnevny. I didn't think he would go in a straight line. I was really aiming at the Kongo. I think the Kongo noticed that the torpedoes were coming and is turning out. So there's not much going to be hitting that one. And in fact, I think they're all missed. But I can keep the fire up. Now, the Fubuki as well is being sneaky and is using my tricks against me. So I'm slamming in the brakes. Here come the Fubu torps. But He has dropped them in a spread, which is good. But I'm reversing, so they're all gonna miss.
The situation is under control.
Wider spread probably would have been better given how hard these hit. Now, I've got a Fubuki. The Gnevny is dead, so we've got a Fubuki here, which is out of torpedoes, so he's not in immediate danger. He is a threat to my team. And there's a Furutaka, which is more dangerous towards me. So I'm dropping the Furutaka and just seeing them get the hell out of here, because that is a lot more attention than I was actually looking for. Fortunately, the Furutaka is firing armor piercing, although at range, this can be quite dangerous. At close range, not so much, but at long range, this is more of a problem. Okay, Furutaka has also noticed that the torpedoes are coming, but a little bit too late, and he still takes 4 of them. Now he's on relatively low health, and there's the König that I can use as a meat shield, because that's what battleships are for, right? At least when you're in a destroyer. So I'm putting her in reverse and just making sure that the Furutaka shoots at the König, not at me. Furutaka has torpedoes, so I'm fully expecting there to be Japanese torpedoes in the water somewhere. And there they come. Okay.
Enemy torpedoes spotted.
Easily avoided, at least for me. I'm not sure about the Königs though. Okay, what's left? The destroyer's left. So the Fubuki has wisely decided, screw that, I'm gonna be elsewhere. And so we've got, what, 2 battleships over there, which means I'm switching over to the high explosive. And we'll see if I can set some fires, because at range I cannot really aim at the battleship weak spots, and the armor piercing loses penetration power at range. So I just want to set some fires. All right, what we got? Oh, there's the destroyer, but he's heading the other direction. There's the Fubuki. He's still running, still legging it. Okay, there's the New York. All right, I'm just going to rush this guy. So this is what you do in an American destroyer, because you do not have the torpedo range, and you know people dodge torpedoes. You actually need to be more aggressive, and you need to get closer. So putting a heel. Yep, New York is going to be our target of choice. I'm keeping an eye out for Fubuki torpedoes, but I'm also keeping an eye on where the New York is pointing his guns. Now I'm on my run up, and he's seen me, and he's fired, and he's missed. So I'm just popping my smoke just in case he's got some shots left. Drop 2 torpedoes. And these are just the secondaries. So this is probably not going to kill him. Double fire, sure. But I can take it from here with the guns, but I think everybody's been focusing on him, so he's dead. Okay, that just leaves 2 of them. There's that Fubuki still, who didn't have a great amount of fun so far. And they've comprehensively lost that, right? We've only lost 1 ship so far. But it's always good to see people putting up a fight at the end of a game and not just giving up. So our Farragut is chasing whatever battleship that is over there. And there is... what am I going to shoot at? Oh, it's the Congo. Well, the Congo is quick. The Congo can probably run away from the Farragut. And if he knows how to steer... let's fire at the Fubuki. Because it looks like the Fubuki is just kind of chasing after the Farragut at this point, trying maybe to get another kill. Because he really doesn't have anything else to shoot at. So switching back over to the armor piercing, given that we're coming in about 7 kilometers range, slowing down a bit in case he paid attention and is torpedo dropping me. But I'm not sure if he was. I haven't seen anything yet. Farragut's still not paying any attention, so he's dropping the Congo, but I got the Fubuki, and I think... Can you still get the Farragut for his... No, I think the Farragut outran the torps. Yeah, Farragut outran the torps. Congo is dead, and well done. Okay. Yep, a Farragut won. I mean, it wasn't me, but that's not the point, right? It's about the ship. So how did this turn out? Yeah. Okay. 50,000 damage, that's not terrible. And we're pretty close. So the Farragut is it's a mid-range ship. It's a jack of all trades. It's not really super excelling at anything, but it's pretty decent at all things considered. She's not the easiest ship to play, I find, for my personal playstyle. But if you're not really super into destroyers and just want to give them a go, probably the American line is not a bad way to go. And by then you probably have a decent idea if you like this sort of thing or not. So let's move on. The next ship we'll be playing is the Ernst Gaede, the German Tier 6 destroyer. We're bottom tier this time around. There's a Lyon, double Bayern, Miyoko, and 3 destroyers, the Fubuki, a Hatsuharu, and the Farragut. So we're playing Aurora, and again, remember, German destroyer, very much not a sneaky ship. It's So we're going to have to pay a little bit of attention because we will get outspotted. And it's not just that the other destroyer can see us before we can see them. It's that all the other ships on the enemy team can see us as well. Which means we're going to get shot at quite a bit. So you got to be a little bit more careful with these things in taking point and scouting. Because that's really not necessarily what they're for. But I'm switching over the guns to armor piercing because you really, really don't want to use the high explosive on these things. Armor piercing these are 150mm armor piercing guns. you can damage everything with these pretty severely. So I'm just kind of staying here in the middle and taking a look around and see if I can spot anything. Now on this map, destroyers often come on the western end along the islands or behind the islands. So, but we've got a destroyer out there, kind of keeping tabs on things. We've got a destroyer on the right side, and this is really how you want to spread out your DDs and make sure you get everything scouted. Okay, enemy team. We've got a couple of ships spotted, but no destroyers yet, so we don't know where they are. And again, there's a Bayern. Okay, I'm not spotted. Is the Bayern looking at me? Not yet spotted, but almost spotted. Oh, there's the Farragut. Okay, torps away against the Bayern. Just a nice little spread interleaving. And there's the Farragut. Okay, full on reverse. Farragut might have torpedoes out. And start opening up on him. And just pop the Hydro to see if there are any torpedoes coming. Yes, there they are. And yep, I know. But you're giving me broadside. And I'm in an Ernst Gaede and I've got 150mm guns. And even though you're an American destroyer, this is not a pleasant experience. But now I'm really close to a lot of ships here. There's a Lyon, double Bayern, someone's trying deep water torpedoes on a Farragut. Or maybe that was just meant for some other ship. But looks like the Farragut's gonna get away because I don't necessarily want to be this close to everybody. Because while I'm a brawly ship, I'm still in a destroyer. Okay, my torpedoes are almost off cooldown. And now I can't target him anymore. So let's start opening up at the Lyon. French battleship. Weak bows, pretty much. Relatively weak armor, so we're opening up at the bow. And as you can see, 556 full pens. Just kind of, he's reversing, I think. So, you know, you're racking up damage that way. Every salvo is over 2,000 damage. Oh, there's Fubuki. What's he doing over there? I mean, yes, I know what he might have planned to do, but I would have thought he'd go the long way around. Okay, well, I'm spotted. And he's probably knowing that I'm here now, if he's paying any attention. But it doesn't look like he wants to come out. What's your plan here? I mean, if you wanted to rush our cup, you're going in the wrong direction. You're supposed to go south and then circle around and then go towards our cup. Okay, I can't spot him anymore because he's behind the island, but he can't spot me either. So I'm just reversing in here slowly. I mean, my team seems to be demolishing the enemy team anyway, so I might as well play around with this destroyer a little bit. Okay, where are you? He's gonna probably outspot me. So as soon as I'm spotted, yeah, there we go. So I'm gonna put the engines forward just in case he's got torpedoes away, and he's just hanging around back there. I'm not sure what your battle plan here is, buddy. I mean, are you trying to ambush somebody coming down that road? None of us is going to come down. Okay, dropping some torpedoes in case he decides he wants to go through. And it looks like he does. But he actually does a really good job of dodging these and going close. No, I don't have torpedoes anymore. Oh dear, whatever am I going to do? Well, I might speed up and just shoot you with my guns, you know? Yeah, no, that's not where I'm going. And I've seen these coming. So, nah, not really. And now you're out of torpedoes. Now what you're gonna do? Because I have 150mm main guns. Yeah, you can shoot back, but you're not really gonna have much fun because I'm pretty sure I can gun you down before my torpedoes are reloaded. Depending on if we can actually beat them to the cup here. Can I still get the kill? Mine. I'm not sure if I got it still or if we capped them out. Yeah, this is what you can do with German destroyers. You cannot outspot enemy destroyers, but once they've dropped their torpedoes, and because you have a hydro, they can neither hide nor torp you easily. Did I get the kill? No, I didn't get the kill anymore. Just 1 second too late. Yes, so you can chase down enemy destroyers and just make sure that they're not getting anywhere near your ships. You can spot the torps early, And you get to drop a couple of torps on enemy ships as well when you have the opportunity. And even if you're shooting at battleships, 150mm armor piercing, German armor piercing, you can do very reasonable amounts of damage. Now, for the last one. For this one, we're looking at the Minsk. And we're, again, bottom tier. There's an Enterprise in the enemy team. 2 destroyers and a Takao, we should rather not deal with. So this is going to be a challenging one. Let's see how this is going to turn out. The Minsk, Soviet destroyer, tier 7. Very fast, great guns, very short range torpedoes, and not the greatest concealment either. So similar story to what you've got with the Germans here. Brawly ship. I'm switching over to the armor piercing. She doesn't get 150mm guns, but the Soviet 130s are very, very good guns. So I'm putting the speed boost on, and she does 47 knots. Now this is with the preheating skill, and still she is a very, very fast ship. So I'm rushing over to A and see if I can get behind that island there and get myself into an ambush position. Because while I do have short-range torpedoes, that means you can use the islands and try to ambush other people. And if they're not paying attention... Okay, there's an Aka. I'm not firing at the Aka quite yet. I don't want him to notice that I'm here. I mean, he's obviously going to notice because he's not capping. So he knows that there's someone else in the cap circle. But unfortunately, it looks like the carrier has some attention from me. So I'm just going to drop my torpedoes in case the Aka decides to drive here. And then get the island between me and that Takao, because tier 8 Japanese cruiser really don't want to. Not something I'd like to deal with. Okay, so the Akatsuki has completely turned around. I'm still spotted, and it looks like I've got 2... Yeah, do I have any support here? No, it looks like my team's going B. Plus I've got the carrier playing with me. Okay, slam her into reverse to dodge the carrier torps, which means that I'm gonna get to gun range of the Takao again. Fortunately, the Takao is firing armor piercing. Although I am a Soviet destroyer, I am rather sturdy, so it's not a terrible idea. I can hurt the Takao, but it's better to use the yeah, that hurt. Okay, it's better to use the high explosive because it's more consistent and I might be setting fires. Okay, I've got the gun reload. I'm just gonna drop some torps in his way just to dissuade him from coming here. He's burning, but he's not damage conning. Now it's double fire. He's probably... Is his damage con on cooldown? Was he dropped by the carrier, maybe? Okay, so he knows I'm behind this island, right? He's burning merrily, which is good. He knows I'm behind this island, so he dropped some torpedoes there, which I'm of course not going to run into. Now I'm going to use my torpedo indicator to see which way he's going. So he looks like he's decided... Nope. He doesn't want to come out here, because obviously he knows that I'm behind the island, even though he can't see me. He knows that I was just coming around, so he is turning the other way. And once again, using the torpedo indicator to find out where he comes out. He's out firing armor piercing, so at this range he's going to overpen me. There we go. And he's going to eat all my torps. So, yeah, that's that. Now, had he used high explosive, I would have been dead. But I had to get rid of this guy. So we can get ACAP back, because we are behind. We both have lost a cruiser, both teams. I'm relatively low on health. And we're going to need the cap, because we're about to lose B. I don't know what our other destroyers are doing. So let's get ACAP back and see what we can help out in B cap. Again, the carrier. Okay, the Xianyang has taken out the Bismarck. And got taken out in return. Okay, Akatsuki. 6.5 kilometer, armor piercing. Now I just need to hit you. And then I can start doing some damage. Maybe. There we go, that's better. Okay. Slowing down, because I don't know if the Aka has actually got torpedoes away already. And speeding up again. If he drops the torpedoes, I'm still in the turn. Just getting some torpedoes in his way. Interleaved widespread. Okay, there come the Aka torps. Yep, I've seen them. Yes, I know they're coming. Yes, I can outrun these. But that was only one drop, so slow down. See if we can get another drop in. I think he took... Yeah, he took one torp, and that was it. You see, you don't need to get all torpedoes on target to kill a destroyer. It's totally suitable to just, you know, fire wider spreads. Make sure you interleave the torpedoes. And at these kind of ranges, even a Soviet destroyer can be dangerous. Okay. All right, who's next? They're 3 ships down, we're 2 ships down, but they're holding 2 of the caps. And that Amagi looks like he needs to die. So he's going to be my next customer. He has his guns pointing elsewhere. And again, you don't want to go stealthy here. That was my last heal. You don't want to go stealthy. You just want to go in and hurt people. Okay, he's in the turn, so I'm going to lead my torps a little bit, interleaved. Okay, the carrier has seen me, which means the Amagi has seen me as well. Doesn't mean that I have to stop shooting at him. But looks like my torpedoes are going to be mostly on target. Oh, quick notzer here. But I can't grab B cup because the Amagi is there. And now I've got to dodge carrier torps. Okay, now I've spotted the carrier. Where is he dropping? Because I don't have enough health to take any. So if he takes me out, that's it with the torps. Okay. Oh, we lost our Lexington. Oh dear. Okay. Carrier, make up your mind. Where do you want to drop me? I'm just varying my speed and course. And try to get his aim off. Slowing down. Speeding up. Can I get around these? Yeah, I could get around these because I was turning in towards them. Which means the torpedoes hadn't armed. Otherwise, one of the torpedoes would have hit me. Which probably wouldn't have killed me, but put me on very low health. Okay, there come the dive bombers. There's nothing I can do about the dive bombers. The Yamagi is behind an island, and we're way behind on points, so we've lost this one. But just trying to make his life as difficult as possible here. Yep, we won. No, we didn't, but... Oh, he still gets me. But I still came out top of the team in the bottom tier destroyer. Well done on to the Xianyang here, who has murdered probably a lot of my team. But yeah, this is how you play a Soviet destroyer. You play them super aggressive. You need to use islands to compensate for your lack of torpedo range and your lack of concealment. You can ambush, you can surprise, you can brawl. You have speed, you have acceleration. You've got good guns, so use them. Most of the time I don't even bother much with enemy destroyers and torpedoes. I just use the guns against them. And that's how you play these things, really. So I hope this was a bit of help. Again, imagine the line from super stealthy to super aggressive. And try to find your playstyle, because they're all valid. But my personal preference is more of an aggressive playstyle, which is harder to do with Japanese destroyers. So if you like to brawl and you like to get your hands dirty and you like to live fast and die young, then German destroyers or Soviet destroyers especially are probably more your cup of tea. If you find great pleasure in sneaking up on someone and torping them without them ever spotting you, then the Japanese destroyers or the Pan-Asian destroyers are also very, very good choices. So that's it for today. Thanks everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye.